Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. This is going to be Comments episode 15. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video. If you end up liking it, hit the notification bell, leave more comments, and we'll do videos just like this. So we're starting off with Betty Horn in response to Comments episode 13. She says, Elder McConkie said that every worthy member of the church will be at Adam-ondi-Ahman. Maybe that's why they created Zoom. Maybe. Seriously, though, I don't have any idea how it'll play out. I just hope it's very soon. You and me both. Um, I have all 4 of his Messiah book series. Pretty deep reading, but fascinating. That's great. I don't have any of them. I don't think I've read any of them, but Bob D, he did point out basically on BYU Idaho's website, there's like I can't remember what it's called. I already forgot. I just did a video about it, about what he said in one of his books, um, about Adam-ondi-Ahman. Let's see. Here it is right here. It's called "He Cometh to Adam-ondi-Ahman." So it's like an excerpt from that. So I did see that where he said that all the righteous saints would be in attendance. So that's good news. I hope that I'm there. Did I make it? Did it already happen? And can you guys tell me if I missed it? Did I not make the cut? Um, Let me know if you can. In response to Comments episode 14, uh, Lisa Gomez says, the keys will be handed back to Jesus himself by Adam when that time comes. Yes, yes. I'm pretty sure that's what we read in here. I know that this this paper and this excerpt from his book isn't like everything probably that there is to be said about Adam-ondi-Ahman, but I'm pretty sure that we read that here. I know that he's going to hand over the stewardship, and I believe also the keys. Um, so that part I am pretty sure about. Thank you for your comment. In response to my 3 of 31, the Sister Wendy Nelson Challenge, Revelation for the Church, um, finally the truth said, I told my wife about your channel and she's very interested in how you homestead. Do you have a video explaining it? So I already responded to him, but just for everybody else, so I have like a bunch of different playlists if you haven't checked that out already. I'm trying to divide everything up into playlists by subject matter, and I have ones just for homesteading. Some of those homesteading videos are actually videos talking about church topics, but there's just a lot of homesteading mixed in with it. Footage of my homestead and animals and stuff like that. I talk a little bit about homestead in those videos, so you can check that out. But in response to his request, I made just like a separate video yesterday. Um, I think a little over an hour long, just talking pretty much about everything that we do. So it's a pretty comprehensive video about what we've been doing since we moved here to Kansas and started homesteading. In response to my comments, episode 14, uh, Arith Litharaga Olascuaga says, there won't be any leaders in the millennial reign. All members that make it to the millennium and become part of the church of the firstborn will be kings and queens, priests and priestesses, and will reign with Christ during the millennium. Now, again, I'm not doubting you, but I don't know where you're getting that from. So if you'd be so kind, find that source, put it in the comments, or email me, whatever, um, and then I'll cover that. Uh, I have another article that somebody had sent me. Sorry, I can't remember what your name was, whoever sent this to me. Um, it's called, let's see, it must be this one right here, The Man Adam. This is out of February 1998, Ensign. Um, so it's an article. It's by Robert L. Millet. By the way, I'll put both of these links below so you can go on and check it out. So I didn't get that sense from He Cometh to Adam-ondi-Ahman. Of course, he's just talking about Adam-ondi-Ahman and not necessarily the millennium. I do, just based on what I know right now, which hopefully that'll change if there's new additional information, and it seems like there is. But as of right now, my understanding is that yes, definitely during when after the millennium, when the when the Earth becomes celestial, uh, I'm sure that'll be the case. But during the millennium, we're going to have a mix of both celestial and terrestrial people there, and I'm imagining that just like there is today in the church, we have people that are telestial, terrestrial, and celestial. I would imagine that um, that's probably going to be the case, minus the telestial during the millennium, as far as the church goes, because we know I read somewhere. I go back and watch my videos, but we read somewhere that the church of the firstborn consists of all those who are exalted. So I'm assuming that all those who have received their callings and elections made sure, and on, and have guaranteed themselves exaltation. So that's the church of the firstborn. Um, so obviously, there's probably going to be some church that also includes those that are terrestrial, which would probably need some leadership. Of course, leadership could come from being kings and queens, priests and priestesses. But man, just send me the source, so that me myself, so I can get it clear, so I can share it with everybody else, because maybe not everybody else is on the same page. So that's where I'm at with that. Then he continues, for the record, I haven't mentioned anything that's not supposed to be shared out of the temple. Being kings and priests and queens and priestesses comes out of the books of Doctrine of the Gospel. In reality, there's basically nothing that is taught in the temple that is hidden in a safe. Uh, I mean, kind of, there is. Everything mentioned in the temple is in different parts of the scriptures in other books, like the Doctrine and Covenants, and they're available for anyone that wants to buy them and download them for free, even if they're not members of the church. There's even a scripture that talks about the temple garments. That's Galatians 6:17. From henceforth, let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Jesus. Um, Again, I'm sure that's what that could mean. I'm not going to say that for sure unless you have some other source that specifically says that that's what that's talking about. I'm not trying to be like argumentative, but like I'm careful with my own information. And now I will say that our church has done a video about garments, which kind of shocked everybody. That came out, I don't know, several years ago, maybe. It's on YouTube. They show the garments because I think it became a topic of just like intense, like, oh, why can't you show that? Why? And so they just did it being like, look, different religious groups have different religious clothing. Look at nuns, look at Jews, look at, so it shouldn't be a surprise that we also have special religious clothing. Um, and then they showed it. So, but when it comes to the temple, I am very, it's just me, but I'm very careful with what I'm talking. I agree. I don't think it's wrong to talk about what you just said, but there's other things that I just prefer not to talk about because I think they're sacred, and I don't like to get too um, specific when it comes to certain things in the temple. So that's just me. But thanks for your comment. In response to Saturday morning, October 2021 General Conference, when I did commentary on that session, Amanda Dangerfield says, subscribe to your channel. I'm glad you let us know that you have videos on those other topics. No problem. I, I'm trying to cover a wide range of different topics, but mostly as they relate to ones related to the second coming and in church news, essentially. But um, yeah, that's the main focus. But I do videos about a lot of different things. Thanks for your comment. In response to 7 of 31, the Sister Wendy Nelson Challenge Sisters participation, um, Anna Gygax. I'm gonna assume that that's pronounced Gygax. It's Gygax, or is it Gygax or Gyjax or Gyjax? Gyjax? No, I don't know. I'm not making fun of your name. I'm gonna use my best educated guess. I'm going to say that it's pronounced Gygax. Correct me if I'm wrong. She says, I've enjoyed following the challenge with you. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you're getting something out of it and that you're enjoying it. Hopefully you're learning something new. I definitely am. Like I've been listening pretty intently to everything that President Nelson says, but going back and really going through these talks, I'm pulling out a lot of different things and just putting together, I think, kind of like the big picture of what he's all about. So I hope that's happening for you too. Thanks for following along. In response to He Cometh to Adam-ondi-Ahman, Bruce R. McConkie, that's that video that I did based on that paper that Bob D sent me. Two broskies said, for those near Deseret Industries, these books are often there. Yeah, so Deseret, I'm sure everyone in the church knows what Deseret Industries are, but just in case, sometimes it's called the DI. It's basically like Goodwill. Um, it's a church owned thrift store essentially. So, and yeah, you can usually find a bunch of books there, like church books. Thank you for that to Broskies. In response to my 8 of 31, the Sister Wendy Nelson Challenge, the correct name of the church, the Last Dispensation, Troy Abels, hey, thanks for commenting, says, love it. And then he put another comment, you have a knack for this. Thank you. I don't know that I feel the same way, but I'm just trying to do the best that I can. I look forward to talking to you and Palmer on Monday. Yeah, for everybody, I think I've already said this, but we're gonna do a Zoom, all three of us on Monday. Um, it's gonna be around. Well, it's not gonna be live, so but we're gonna do it around like 3 p.m. Central Time, and then probably a couple hours after that is when it'll show up on the channel. So it's gonna be on all three channels. We're all gonna get a copy of it and put it on our channels. So watch whichever one you want, whichever channel. But hey, man, I look forward to talking to you. We've already had some great conversations on the phone, and I appreciate that. I think you're a great guy. In response to He Cometh to Adam-ondi-Ahman by Bruce R. McConkie, Bob D, the one that sent me the link for this, or the source for this, he said, when you reference the horn, it was trying to figure that out. It is my belief that the horn spoken of is likely the Antichrist. The Antichrist is known by more than one name, but I do know that one of those names he is called by is the stout horn. Plug the Antichrist in there and see if that works. I could be wrong. Thanks again for your efforts. Yeah, I've heard that before as well, and I think I've heard that on like other evangelical Second Coming um, channels. I'm going to be frankly just honest. I don't know a whole lot about the Antichrist, and that might be something that I'm gonna have to look up. I'm not sure if the church has a very strong position on it, or like a very well defined position on a latter day Antichrist. I know that in the Book of Mormon, there had been Antichrist. I think that Nahor was one of them. Just like anyone that's like really preaching against the doctrine of the gospel, but this is probably one of my weaker areas when it comes to the second coming. So um, I appreciate that bit of advice. I think that you could be right. I'm just going to have to maybe research this more and see what we can pull out to put together a solid picture about the Antichrist. So I appreciate that comment. Thank you. And thank you for giving me that source. In response to the same video, Betty Horn says, uh-oh, it's Betty Horn. Betty Horn's the Antichrist. Her last name is Horn. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Betty Horn. I appreciate you following my channel. You've been with it for, it seems like a while now. You comment a lot, so I really appreciate that. Okay. Sorry. She says, my gosh. Okay. She says, There was leadership in the premortal existence. Why would that end? Um, did you know how Bruce R. McConkie studied 1 hour a day in each of the four standard works? That's 4 hours a day. Okay, so 1 hour for each of the four standard works. On top of that, on top of all that, the other things that required his attention. Yeah, I'm sure that he was pretty busy, pretty busy guy. No wonder he knew what he did. Yet he was humble enough to admit he was wrong when he was, and that's always a good sign because I feel like there's some people that think that they have it all figured out. You know, they've cracked the secret code. They know how it's all gonna happen, and are not willing to admit when they're wrong. And that I would just watch out for people that are unable to admit they're wrong or think that they're 100% correct about everything. Um, anyway, dot dot dot. Like when a reporter asked him about his position on blacks receiving the priesthood after the announcement, he told him simply, "I guess I was wrong. I love the brethren." Um, I've had the privilege of working in periphery alongside a couple of them. Oh, cool. Um, they are very human, but oh so wise. Now, in regards to that, Troy Abels, he did a video recently talking about a video that the church put out called "The Power of Councils," and it's on YouTube. Um, I'll put that link down below. I would highly recommend watching it because um, it basically talks about. Um, all right, yeah, it's a 22 minute kind of like little documentary type thing. Um, it talks about how decisions are made in the church. Um, that basically it's not just like the prophet that's just like using his best judgment. You know, whenever the church puts out guidance or puts out something to the church, it's done through councils, and they wait essentially um, uh, until there's a unanimous opinion or a unanimous consensus on what to do on whatever the subject is. So I'm sure that that's always been the case. Probably since Joseph Smith. I don't know. I don't know that for sure, but definitely at least in recent decades, probably for a long time. So I'm sure that Bruce R. McConkie, when that was being discussed, I'm sure that they went through a lot of discussion and essentially eventually realized that um, making that change what he realized that making that change was correct and that previous to that he was wrong. So I don't think that he was like put in his place like, well, you know what, we all think that it's right, you're wrong. We're gonna do it. No, I think that they probably used the council system back then, and he himself came to that conclusion, and they went ahead and did it. That's just what I think based on um, that video, the power or inside church headquarters, the power of councils. That's what it's called. Thanks for your comment. In response to how we homestead, um, the video I did for finally the truth and his wife, Sam Lee says, "Thanks for sharing your homestead with us. Always good to see how the animal fam is doing. Sorry to hear about the baby cow." Thank you so much. I think just like going forward, we're just gonna preemptively give them shots just to be safe, just so we don't have that risk and so it doesn't happen again. And if anything does come up with one of our cows or calves, we're gonna like act that very same day because you have to do it right away. Um, Now today we actually have a lady coming. She's gonna take the all of our ducks and our female turkey. We already gave one of the turkeys away, and then she's coming to get the other female turkey. So we're gonna be left with the guineas, the goose. Well, I'm gonna see if she'll take the goose because we actually didn't talk to her about that. So I hope that she takes the goose, and then we're just gonna have the chickens because I explained in that video, and I think I may have said before, we're gonna get it to where all we have is just cows in chickens. And I'm still kind of on the fence whether we're going to keep the dairy cows or sell them and just do beef cows. I'm me and my wife keep talking about that. We don't know exactly what we're going to do, but the one thing that we know for sure is we're just going to do chickens and cows. It's been fun having the other birds. You know, you can get some things out of them like duck eggs, goose eggs, even turkey eggs, which don't really taste it. The turkey eggs don't really taste any different from chicken eggs. They're just kind of bigger, and the shell is like thicker, harder to crack open. But um, we I don't know. We might get turkeys in the future because I really like the idea of having like raising our own turkey for Thanksgiving because whenever we've processed, which is butchered, whenever we've processed our own chickens, the meat is just amazing. It tastes really good. It's just like saturated in flavor. You can really tell the difference between fresh chicken and chicken that you buy from the store or at a restaurant. Okay, in response to He Cometh to Adam-ondi-Ahman, uh, Warsaw Uprising. Sorry, I'm just a silly guy. Warsaw Uprising says, yet there's so much that the Latter-day Saints in 2021 don't think and don't know and don't think about. And then this person referenced or put the link for 2 minutes and 2 seconds into that video. We were talking about that. Shake my head. I'm putting in the closed eyes too, so I hope that's okay. It's almost as if the church is a social organization for them because doctrine never enters into their conversations. And when it does, in any serious sort of way, the subject is changed to a dialogue ended, or the dialogue is ended. Shake my head. SMH, shake my head. Um, yeah, I agree with you. There are those that, and I've made that comment before that people, I think especially tares mostly, um, they come to church for the wrong reason, and it's for the social benefit. Whether, and this may sound harsh, but there are tares, there are bad people that know how to camouflage themselves, and though they may not do, bad things like in an obvious way, there's some people that will see a church, whether it's our church or another church, and come because they're like, oh, here's a group of very nice, giving people that I can take advantage of. I can get them to help me with things, or um, they may do it because they're in Utah, and it's socially expedient to be a member of the church and do all the right things and have that image, which may help you in various ways throughout life. So there's definitely people that are fake. There's also people that they're not fake, but they just like they don't do the necessary work to really feast upon the words of Christ and understand a lot of these deeper doctrines. So there's a whole spectrum of different types of people, but yeah, I would agree. I would agree, but there are those of us that are trying to do the best that we can, and that we don't just like ignore these things and we dive into it. And good for us, good for you, good for me, good for Sam Lee, Betty Horn, Bob D, everybody. Um, so yeah. So in response, thanks for the comment. In response to 8 of 31, the Sister Wendy Nelson challenge, the correct name of the church, Anna Gygax says, name change is good. Thank you. Because I don't know if all of you noticed, but I changed the name of my channel from Latter-day Homestead to Christian Homestead. And I did that because President Nelson, in that talk, he was talking about the problem being that when you use nicknames like LDS or Mormon or Church of the Latter-day Saints or whatever, it removes the central focus of the name, which is Jesus Christ. So if anything is in there, it should be Jesus Christ. So I figured um, for my channel, for my brand, whatever, I want to follow that guidance and put Christ right there instead of Latter-day Saints. I did that because, like, so everyone knows that this is a church related channel, but I think they'll be able to get that just by seeing the titles of my in the subject matter of my content, and and then it might be more appealing to Christians of other churches, and maybe they'll approach my channel. They'll be more likely to approach my channel and listen to my content. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. So thanks for that feedback, in a Gygax. In response to He Cometh to Adam-ondi-Ahman, Bruce McConkie, EZ Squeezy says, says, I want to share some videos related to this video. They're interesting. Limna, parentheses, Joseph. And then there's a YouTube link, a YouTube video link. I think this video in particular, 'cause she's talking about, well, he or she is talking about another video after that. I think this video in particular talks about what is mentioned in um, the 15th minute, 34th second, and the whole vid itself. Stories of the Restoration. Okay, great. I will add that to my watch later playlist. It may take some time to get there, but I'll take a look at that. I appreciate it. But because I am trying to get this all figured out and help others figure it out as well. I'm sure a lot of people are already way further than me, but for this channel, yeah, we'll try and figure it out together. And then the last comment, in response to 8 of 31, the Sister Wendy Nelson challenged the correct name of the church. It is Nat and Joe Christensen. I haven't heard from you guys for a while, so it's good to hear back from you, or hear from you again. Does anyone remember that President Hinckley and even some others before him also emphasized that we should be using the correct name of the church and not our nickname? I felt like no one remembers these earlier prophets and their talks on these topics. Yeah, I do. I remember it being brought up a couple times, and especially around the time that the church changed its typography logo from that weird arrangement of the words to like where they have Jesus Christ in a larger font right in the middle. So yeah, I do remember it, but I don't know. I think we're obviously taking it a lot more seriously now, simply because names like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir are going away, Mormon.org, and like there's like now officially like all these changes that are happening with the church. So like the prophet's really serious about that now. So, but I do recall a couple other times. So, thanks for your comment. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up. If you guys haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video. If you liked it, hit the notification bell. Leave more comments, because I really do like to hear what you guys have to say. You share a lot of really good information, a lot of good insights, and I think everybody else wants to hear from you as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.